Welcome back. Now, it is one of those songs that speaks to the heart and will stay with you long after hearing it for the first time. Well, at least that's how lead singer and songwriter of popular duo Victor Bravo of Weco van Basten describes their new single titled SOLANK DIE LIEFDE BLY. Victor Bravo is made up of Van Basten and lead guitarist Jopie Pienaar, who have to date released hit singles such as Skemer and Breakway Line. Well, the duo join us in studio to take us through their musical journey and unpack their latest single. Gentlemen, good morning. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning.
Vicu, I want to start with you. How did you guys meet? How did this group come about?
He was born into the conversation. Jopie is my sister's son.
Right.
I'm the youngest of three, and he's her firstborn. So I was about 12 when he was born, and I saw him grow up, and then I saw him pick up his guitar, and we just started playing together.
Okay, so it's uncle and nephew relationship.
Don't use those words.
Okay.
I'm not allowed to call him Worm.
Why not? He is the worm, though.
But he's so young.
Yeah.
Well, he was a few years ago.
When you were, many years ago. Okay, let's start with how it started, how you decided, okay, fine, I want to ask to start a relationship, a musical relationship, and take it forward.
It kind of always was there, because when I picked up the guitar, he's always been musical and songwriting. So normally whenever we would get together at family stuff, I'd bring my guitar, he had his, and then we just started playing together, and someday we decided, let's try taking a stage and see how it works out.
And how did you guys land on the name?
The surname Van Basten. So the VB, we went and said Victor Bravo.
Right.
Yeah, although he's not, he's a Pienaar. So.
Yeah, but my mom,
but in his heart.
Yeah, he's a Bravo. All right, talk to us about the previous singles that you've released. How was that received by the music lovers?
I think they went rather well, but this has been by far, I think, the one that's been doing the best.
Yeah.
Previous ones were well, but personally also the newest one is my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this new one. Tell us a little bit about it. What's the inspiration behind it?
The inspiration behind SOLANK DIE LIEFDE BLY, so just for translation purposes, it's as long as love remains, is basically what it means. And the inspiration behind it, there wasn't really a drive to try and write the song. It was more of in the moment, after lockdown, or just at the end of lockdown, end of COVID, everything was wrong in the world. We just had, everybody had this desperation and this depression that was just running amok. And I remember sitting in my studio the one day, and I was contemplating, what's going to happen to us. You see all the news, everything is just going wrong, and the economy is down the drain. And the answer kind of came to me and said, everything will be fine as long as there is at least love in the world. And the song just came out. I sent it to Jopie, and he did his magic with the guitar, and the rest is history.
Yeah. How's it been received? What's been the response to the single?
I don't know. People just say, oh, it's nice. But people do see the depth of it, and also I think receive the same message that when Weco was writing it, that he was putting out there. I think that's kind of also what everyone started looking at when the hope was a bit more down, is as long as love remains, there's like a bigger picture to it all. So yeah, I think it is received as it was put out to be. Yeah.
Vicu, you say the song will stay with people long after its release. Tell us a little, what do you mean by this?
I think it's a universal message. I think we often confuse the concept of love with romance, we often forget that there's a very basic human love between two people. Even a guy you meet on the street, you can recognize as you walk past that other human being that this is a human being like me. And it's that type of love that binds us as a species together. And that's what's going to win at the end of the day.
Right.
Irrespective of what's going to happen, irrespective of all the negative opinions, whatever happens, at the end of the day, we as a species will prevail, because we can recognize and love one another just for the simple fact that we are together on this ball of rock that's hurtling through space at thousands of kilometers an hour. And we're together in this.
Jopie, what lessons came with working on this project? I mean, Vicu just said, he gave you the song and you worked your magic on the guitar. What did that teach you about your craft?
I don't know, it kind of came naturally to me because I really enjoyed the song. But yeah, I tried to be a bit more different than the previous time. So that was probably the challenge to it. And that's something I had to go learn, is just putting in a bit more time and learning something new on the guitar so it doesn't just sound like all the previous things we did.
Why was that though, that you wanted to be different? You know, something must have clicked.
Because it's my favorite song we've done so far. So I was a bit biased too, because I do like it slightly more than some of the previous ones we've done, and I think that's why I put a little bit more effort into it as well. And I think at the end of the day that shows, because the results of it has been well.
I actually didn't ask, why is it your favorite one?
I don't know. I think it's the message we all needed, myself included. I think we did go through a strange time, tough time for a lot of people, and I think it was just a little bit deeper than the previous things, and I tend to like music a lot more if it has a message and meaning to it.
And for you, what lessons came with working on this particular project? I mean, Jopie says it's his favorite song. You wrote it. It must have pushed you, you know, musically as well, creatively a little bit.
So I think we tried something different in terms of our sound. We tried for a little more roxy type of vibe.
More organic as well.
Actually a lot more organic, to try and get a lot more raw sound. So there's always that pull when you're producing something, and when we're working with and we have a wonderful producer. But there's always that pull to try and add more sound, to make it more fluffy.
Yeah.
And we had to fight that urge. We had to fight that urge very actively. And like I said, Renier Henning is a brilliant producer, and he understood from day one exactly where we wanted to go with this, and we kept it organic. So it was take after take after take, just to capture that essence, because it is musically it's not a very difficult song, but vocally it can quite be challenging.
Right.
So it's up there.
Yeah. And speak to us about the importance of that relationship with the producer, that for them to understand your vision. You know, it's one thing for you to write the lyrics and then give it to Jopie for him to put the guitar on it, but for the producer to actually understand what your vision is for that song.
So a producer is, people did not realize he's behind the scenes, but he's very much part of the band when it comes to the produced single. So that song that, if you play in a pub or we play on a stage, that's just me and him, and whoever else is with us on the day. But then it's up to us. But when it comes to the recording, the producer is the guy that decides what goes up, what goes down, and he has to have a critical ear to say, you know what, guys, this note is not working. This changeover is not working. We need to change the rhythm. We need to make it shorter here. We need to make it longer. So it's very, very much a part of shaping the final product.
And is this the sound that you guys would be leaning towards going into the future, the more organic one that you spoke about?
Yes, personally I think that works better for us, and that's always been the type of music I think we've both been listening to as well, and that's been a lot of the inspiration for making music, has been a bit more organic in this type of music. So I think we'll lean towards that into the future.
Do you think you drifted off a little bit in the previous singles than to the more organic as you describe it?
I don't think we drifted off. I think every song needs to be sung. It might not speak to as many people. It might not be the true and final sound that we're going for. I think if you run with music in different ways, at the end of the day, the music will take you where it needs to go.
Yeah.
This is definitely a sound that we like more. I don't think we drifted off. I think we grew into this. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. Well, and the pressure to be more commercial, though, is also going to be there, for the artists to stick to what is organic and what is real to them than to what the market wants.
Yes, exactly. Then I think that we did experiment a bit more with trying to find somewhere between being commercial but still kind of true to yourself, and that's a hard place. That's a hard place to be. So I think it's better to just go to something that comes a bit more naturally to you. Yeah.
What is that? If you ever have to describe it, how would you even describe it? We've spoken about how it's organic, but if there's ever a way you could describe it, how would you?
In terms of genre, it's an alternative rock song.
Right.
It's in Afrikaans, but it's an alternative rock song. Very much like the songs from the 90s that you know that.
Right.
The alternative songs from the 90s, based a lot on that type of sound. But yes, it's a medium beat alternative rock sound.
Right.
And you know, we will be doing an acoustic version at some point today, but the recorded version has everything. You know, the electric guitars and the drums and the bass guitarist. But yeah.
Today is just acoustic.
Today's
Okay,
just
tell us
acoustic.
a little bit about the two songs that you're going to perform for. Obviously, the new single. What other song are you going to perform for?
You'll have to ask him what the second one is. We still haven't decided.
Okay.
But yeah.
What are the options?
Now, we were thinking of doing a cover of Stand By Me. I think that's you know, a run-of-the-mill, centre-of-the-line, black English song that everybody should know. You know the song, right? Stand By Me, yeah.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you in the studio. Thank you so much. That is the duo Victor Bravo speaking to us about their latest single titled SOLANK DIE LIEFDE BLY, which is loosely translated as long as there is love, or love stays, loosely translated there in English. All right, quick ad break. Go back after this. Stay with us.